Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be looking at the cryptocurrency Walrus, which does admittedly look and sound a bit like a meme coin, but is actually a serious project. It was only released on March the 27th, 2025, and is already the 125th largest cryptocurrency by market cap size at the time of recording this video, standing at over $727 million. So in this video, we're going to look at what Walrus is, its strengths and possible disadvantages, and ultimately whether it's worth investing in. So please do like the video and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to offer more content for you in future. If you follow our social media channels on X, Facebook and Instagram, you'll receive daily crypto and financial education news update posts, which will keep you informed. Stick around to the end of this video to find out what services Coin Knowledge offers. Just a quick reminder that nothing contained here is financial advice, and let's jump straight in. Walrus is a decentralized peer-to-peer storage platform built on the Sui blockchain. It was developed by the Web3 decentralized infrastructure firm Mysten Labs, that also developed Sui, by the way, and is managed by the Walrus Foundation. It aims to provide efficient, secure, and scalable data storage. So it basically allows people to store, read, manage, and program large data and media files, for example, video, images, and PDFs in a decentralized way, without the need for centralized data centers. It uses Move-based smart contracts as Sui does, with Move being created by Sam Blackshear, the co-founder of Mysten Labs and original contributor to Sui. And it uses these to manage large data files, otherwise known as blobs, making storage interactive and programmable. But it's not just Move. Walrus also uses a hybrid model of blockchain and peer-to-peer networking, primarily using the programming language Rust over 70% of the time, which I won't go into the detail of really in this video. But let's look at some of the key features of Walrus's technological framework, some of which we've already just touched on. Firstly, given that Walrus is decentralized, files are distributed across multiple nodes, and this ensures that they're still accessible across the network, even if some of these nodes fail or go offline, given that there's no single point of control or failure. And this is also the case given that Walrus is a peer-to-peer network. So this is the way that Walrus implements its decentralized system, because nodes store data segments, which are often then replicated, ensuring availability if some of these nodes go offline. And because data is replicated across nodes, this aims to lower the cost of storage and drastically improve error recovery through something called red stuff encoding and data redundancy. The Move smart contracts that we saw earlier that manage the data files, enabling dynamic data interactions and automation, which means that it isn't just a traditional storage system with a file sitting there passively. They can be actively managed, changed, and used in automated processes. So just for example, imagine an NFT that if it's traded a certain amount of times, or a sports team wins something, or something happens in a video game, the Move smart contract will change something about the NFT stored on Walrus automatically. Also, data on Walrus is encrypted before it's uploaded to the network, so security is maintained through encryption and the distribution across nodes. Users can also set data access permissions, with the smart contracts controlling this data access. And finally, game theory is in play because node operators contributing storage are rewarded with native tokens WAL, which are also used for platform transactions. Rewards are given for challenge responses, data writing assistance, and fragment recovery. But moving on from what Walrus is and its key features, possible use cases of Walrus include AI datasets. So for the huge amount of data needed for storing and training AI models like machine learning and oracles, rich media, which would encompass the large file types like high resolution videos, and even NFTs, decentralized social networks, and video games, websites, otherwise known as Walrus sites, which is where there'd be no central hosting authority for the website, as it'd be decentralized, and the site owner would control the content and updates. Blockchain history could even be stored on Walrus rather than on-chain to save on cost and efficiency, while still making this data available for things like layer 2s, airdrops, audits or queries. And the final use case we'll look at is support for SUI's 3D gaming and payments ecosystem, given that Walrus is built on SUI. So what do we know about Walrus's team? Well, it must be said that it's led by pretty impressive people, because we've already seen Sam Blackshear in this video, who's a co-founder and Chief Technology Officer at Miston Labs, which, if you remember, created both Walrus and SUI, and Sam Blackshear created the Move programming language. There's also Evan Cheng, who's another co-founder and is now the CEO of Miston Labs, who spent over 10 years working for Apple as a senior engineer and manager, and then more than 2 years at Facebook as the Director of Engineering, Programming Languages and Runtimes. And if we look at another one of the 5 co-founders of Miston Labs, George Denisis, he's also the chief scientist, is a professor at UCL, which is University College London in case you weren't aware, holds a PhD from the University of Cambridge, and got a first-class honours degree in computer science. So in fairness, it is quite an impressive team that created Walrus. And linked with this, what are Walrus's tokenomics like? Well, Walrus raised $140 million in March from investors via token sales. This included investors such as Standard Crypto, A16Z Crypto, Electric Capital, Franklin Templeton Digital Assets, etc. Walrus uses the delegated proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, which it states helps to secure the network and prevent Sybil attacks. It also confirms that the WAL token is used for governance and staking, with node operators obviously receiving rewards for providing storage on the network. But they're also saying that its delegated proof-of-stake network ensures that no data is lost and good behavior is incentivized through slashing penalties. So as we've seen, the native token is WAL, or WAL, with a max supply of 5 billion, and with an initial circulating supply of 1.25 billion WAL, meaning that 75% of its tokens are still yet to be introduced, meaning more inflation and dilution of the cryptocurrency is to come. But with the circulating supply actually being over 1.3 billion WAL at the time of recording this video, according to SUIScan, rather than 1.25 billion, because more tokens have been released since its launch. If we look at the token distribution, it is quite well distributed, because 63% of all WAL tokens are allocated to the Walrus community through subsidies, airdrops called the Walrus user drop here, and 43% for the community reserve, which is aimed at long-term development and growth of the Walrus ecosystem through community grants and programs, developer support, core research, incentive programs, community events, hackathons, and other ecosystem initiatives. 10% of the WAL tokens go to Miston Labs, so 500 million of the total 5 billion, with 50 million WAL available now, and with the rest being unlocked over time until March 2030. 20% is going to early contributors and 7% to investors, with their tokens unlocking 12 months after the mainnet launch. So this will be on the 27th of March 2026. Walrus has many strengths as a project, including its leadership team, the fact that its nodes span at least 17 countries as of the 8th of May 2025, with some of these countries mentioned here, and plans to expand these further, including integrations with other blockchains such as Solana and Ethereum. It has a community-focused tokenomics model, achieved $140 million in funding from investors, is decentralized, which increases security and privacy, has programmable smart contracts for data stored on Walrus. Walrus claims lower storage costs due to its decentralized infrastructure, and because its red stuff encoding reportedly reduces storage costs by up to 100 times compared to competitors like Filecoin and Arweave, and allows rapid data recovery. And finally, Walrus's scalability is supported by its smart contract automation. However, what are the challenges for Walrus moving forward and some possible disadvantages? Well, the big one has to be achieving widespread adoption to grow Walrus in a large way, because it currently has a market cap size of less than half that of Filecoin, one of its competitors with a market cap size of around $1.7 billion, and is the largest decentralized storage cryptocurrency currently, which itself has struggled for a few years since the bear market. There are several other competitors such as BitTorrent, Arweave, SiaCoin, just to name a few, with the question being, where will the adoption come from for Walrus? Because most users want storage solutions that are quick and easy to use, so don't necessarily go for what's best, or in this case, a decentralized model. And an example I can give you for this is, if you compare messaging services, like WhatsApp and email using centralized servers, versus a private messaging tool like PGP, for example, which is much more secure and private, but how many people use it or even know about it? However, if Walrus can integrate aspects such as AI, gaming, and NFTs across different blockchains, then it could certainly achieve the adoption needed, but this hasn't been done yet. Further risks include not having enough nodes across its network to sustain if it does grow. Legal, regulatory, and compliance issues in some jurisdictions may also arise regarding illegal content, for example, depending on what's stored on Walrus. We already touched on the fact that about 75% of WAL tokens are still not in circulation. So unless adoption and use cases keep pace with the increased issuance, this will lead to a lower token price. And finally, Walrus's technology called red stuff encoding will need to be proved moving forward, given that it's claimed that it would be 100 times cheaper and be programmable storage. But that ends this video, and as always, I'd love to know what you think about Walrus in the comments below. Is it something you knew about already, or would want to invest in the future? Or do you see adoption, for example, being an issue moving forward? For full transparency, we don't hold any Walrus here at Coin Knowledge currently, at the time of recording this video. And would you like me to do more of these cryptocurrency deep dives in future? If so, please let me know if there are any specific cryptocurrencies you'd want to see covered. Just a reminder that if you're interested in more of a tailored approach to your crypto education, and you think you'd benefit from having someone look over your shoulder and guide you on your journey, I do offer one-to-one coaching to those who have the desire and the means to educate themselves further. And there are links in the description where you can message me and book in a free video call to see if we'd be a good fit. You can sign up for a free account with Coinly using the link in the description to this video, which is one of the best automated crypto tax platforms out there. If you're looking for more specific crypto tax advice based on your personal circumstances, I've partnered with a leading UK crypto tax company in Miner, which is part of the company Nephos, that offers other services such as wealth management, restructuring, offshoring, etc. And I'll leave a link to contact them directly in the description to this video. If you're based in the US and are looking for specific crypto tax advice based on your personal circumstances, I've partnered with a leading US crypto tax company in crypto tax audit. And again, I'll leave a link to contact them directly in the description of this video. I've also included a link to Trezor's website in the description for anyone looking for one of the best hardware wallets or cold storage out there, with two new models in the Trezor Safe 3 and Trezor Safe 5 that I actually did a video on that you can find a link to here and in the description. Linked with that, we're pleased to have partnered with the #1 best-selling crypto seed phrase storage company called CryptoTag, and I've included a link to their official website in the description of this video for anyone looking to protect their seed phrase, which is vital. And finally, if you're looking for a portfolio tracker for your crypto portfolio, they've included a link to CoinStats in the description of this video, which is the leading crypto and Bitcoin tracker on the market. And if you found this content interesting, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. And have a great day.